Does hot girl branding lose its value over time? Probably saying, what do you mean? Doesn't sex sell always? Well, today's video we're going to be watching is called The Depreciation Curve of Hot Girl Branding. Link to the original video down in the description below. If you like the comments and conversations and commentary and discussions that you participate in on this channel, consider subscribing and joining my channel for future conversations. With that all out of the way, get your keyboards ready because y'all gonna be in the comments letting me know what y'all think. Let's get it.
How far can being hot take you?
23-year-old rap
Big
princess
fat booty.
Ice Spice solidified her status.
Winning Best New Artist.
Co-signs from Taylor Swift and Nicki Minaj.
Leaked DM from Drake.
Everybody was trying to be like, oh, she a one-hit wonder, da da da. But it's like, now what?
It's funny because like if that was any other industry, someone would say that they were botting or they were fake. You know, I don't know. I have my thoughts on Ice Spice. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all's are. I'll probably share my thoughts as we go along, but don't get me started on Ice Spice. Maybe we'll talk about it in another video in detail. Or even this one.
Think you you're not even the fuck.
Gross. If there was one person destined to be famous, it must be Ice Spice. Having Taylor Swift to be your bestie, Drake to praise one of your first songs before it was even released, and Nicki Minaj to collaborate with you when you first start. There really is no better way to start a career. But somehow, there is still a way to mess everything up.
Ice Spice.
No.
Ice Spice.
What?
I don't know. What?
So how
In fairness, expecting people from other countries to know every American entertainer is kind of a stretch. There's like 8 billion people on the planet. It's kind of hard to have that expectation. That's why you have like YouTubers with like millions and millions of subscribers that no one's ever heard of. It's kind of normal, actually. It's not that surprising.
How exactly did rap's new princess screw up multi-millions of hot girl privilege and lose 39 million listeners? That's exactly the mystery we will uncover today. But not only that, as your marketing bestie who graduated top 1% UCLA Business Economics with a background in marketing, we are going to explore how being hot can still fail you if you have a terrible brand, and how you, yes, you, no matter if you have hot girl privilege or not, can build a successful brand to help you down your career.
But she probably knows more than me because she's, you know, obviously marketing genius. But maybe those who have a little bit more marketing experience than I do, if you have a shitty brand or if you have a good brand but shitty music and you only make music, again, like you only make music and you can only make shitty music, will that kill your brand? Or can you have a brand so good that people don't care that your music's dog shit? I don't know.
And by brand, I don't just mean slapping your name on a vinyl figure. Branding is about how your future college, future boss, future boyfriend sees you. And I'm creating a series to analyze pop culture girl icons from a marketing perspective, because many of whom do not recognize the power of influence they have over a generation of young girls.
You think you're the shit? Getting weird poopy.
Oh, you cheating? Then I'm cheating back.
Exactly. And I think it's so important to be aware of and reflective of the people who are shaping our culture.
I'm taking her man. He's calling me poopy. It's because I'm the and I just genuinely don't respect women.
And despite how the whole internet is counting down on Ice Spice's downfall, we will also talk about a few potential ways to save her brand, other than desperate publicity stunts or lyrics about farts.
Ice Spice dropped a new song.
I just did a fart and a poop at the same time. I call that a poop.
Bro, you know what's funny? I don't know if you could probably see it on my face. You can see it on my face. Just hearing Ice Spice and the mention of her music, it just makes my face drop with disappointment. But when you listen to the lyrics, it's so makes you laugh, dude. Like what? And you know what? Honestly, if she didn't have all these celebrities brushing up against her right away, would she have been successful like this? I don't know.
Clearly, language is key to branding. But why only talk in one language if you could start speaking a new language in just 3 weeks with our sponsor, Babbel? Summertime is the best time to travel, and Babbel is one of the top language learning apps in the world. With just 10 minutes a day, Babbel can help you speak like a local on the trip of a lifetime. I basically forgot all my French from high school, but thankfully with Babbel, I survived my Paris trip during the Olympics and made some new friends. And Babbel is scientifically proven by researchers at Yale to help me do exactly that, with lessons created by 650 plus language experts. Order in a bar and ask how much something costs.
Un vin rouge.
Un vin rouge.
Des olives.
Des olives. Babbel offers a
For my language learners, is Babbel the best or is Duolingo? I heard Babbel's really expensive though.
20-day money-back guarantee, so I can confidently order at the Parisian restaurant I've been wanting to revisit since last year. And you can now get 60% off your Babbel subscription in the link below. First, we need to understand how Ice Spice had every single chance to build a billion-dollar music empire.
Was she an industry plant though? Did we ever discover that?
Ice Spice, or Isis Naija Gaston, yeah, that's her real name, was truly born in the right era, the era of TikTok. More than a musician, she first gained fame in 2021 after going viral in the Bust It TikTok challenge, which was essentially a trend showing off your assets. Nothing wrong with that. Embrace what you were born with and be proud of your hotness. But her real fame began.
Hey, if you don't make money, then you don't make money. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. I understand. If it was me, I would have done the same thing.
With her song Munch in 2022, which allegedly received praise from Drake before the release, with a DM from Drake himself that somehow got leaked. Not surprisingly, the song gained massive attention before it was even released.
He was actually like, yo, Munch is hard and you're on the radar freestyle is hard. And I was like, damn, that's crazy.
And this has become the first ingredient to Ice Spice's secret recipe to rapid fame, also known in marketing terms as borrowed credibility, which is using endorsement, such as using social proof to elevate the brand through the power of association, which is very common. For example, Nike and its whole slew of notable athletes, which works the other way around too, like how Emma Chamberlain began her high fashion identity through first partnering up with Louis Vuitton. And for Ice Spice, the rise through association did not stop from Drake. In February 2023, the remix of singer Pink Panther's song Boys the Liar Part 2 gave both artists a huge boost as it became the trending song on TikTok. Then 2 months after, the
I'll be honest, that song was so annoying. I'm not even gonna lie to you. But it was catchy. Boys a liar.
remix of Princess Diana with Nicki Minaj brought the huge fan base of Nicki Minaj over to Ice Spice. To be associated with the rap queen herself gave a lot of social proof to Ice Spice in the rap space, which only snowballed further. Just 1 month after, she scored a collaboration with Taylor Swift.
And what was funny is everyone was making fun of this picture when it happened. Hold
to
up.
Ice Spice in the rap space, which only snowballed further. Just 1 month after, she scored a collab.
Everyone was making a she look how she arching her back to try to have something. I shouldn't be body shaming because I'm fat, but it was just so funny. Everyone's like, nah, we all know you don't got nothing going on. Twitter was crazy. Twitter's mean. It's just, but it's also really funny too. So
Collaboration with Taylor Swift, a collaboration nobody saw coming, which now undoubtedly puts the brand value of Ice Spice on steroids, as she is perceived to be at legend levels with Taylor Swift. As if she could not get more famous, just 1 month after, she did another collab with Nicki Minaj, Barbie World, which took over pop culture for the whole Barbie summer last year. At this point, even though as an artist who has not yet released one single
I don't think I've ever heard that song. I did watch some Barbie movie. I actually thought it was really, really good. And speaking of the Barbie movie, you know what's crazy? That was gonna, rather than Margot Robbie, which I think was perfect casting for Barbie, they were gonna have Amy Schumer do Barbie. Isn't that like wild? That's what that was? What a timeline. Thank God that worked out the way it did. Thank God, because I'm so tired of Amy Schumer. And she hasn't been in anything. She's just so boring and annoying.
album yet, it is almost impossible to not know Ice Spice because within the span of 1 year, her brand was associated with Drake, Nicki Minaj, and Taylor Swift.
That's
While
crazy.
taking over multiple TikTok trends, which will actually be the very same reasons to her downfall that I'll go over in a moment. But while we're talking about TikTok, reading the algorithm and trends is a second key ingredient to Ice Spice's explosive success. From the way her songs are very TikTokable to how she has the look to dominate trends herself, she easily gained free exposure to millions of new eyeballs, and with a visual identity that is super memorable, her bright orange hair and pale complexion that stands out in the traditional hip-hop and rap space, it was very smart branding that made her recognizable. Where on an app people usually scroll and forget, her visual brand stuck. But with this consistent visual brand also came her consistent music style.
So what she's trying to say is her doo-doo ass poopy butt music.
Which is a double-edged sword. On one hand, her repeated lyrics, beats, melody are catchy and easy to create TikTok trends to, hence creating a free marketing engine on its own. Girls liked her because she was a hip-hop sweetheart with an air of confidence. And men liked her because, well, as a girl herself
Or ass. I'm gonna say it.
sang, they could eat her for lunch. But on the other hand, people began suspecting that Ice Spice only knows how to sing one song, where every one of her songs sound the same. The paradox of branding is that while sticking to the golden rule of consistency, there also needs to be innovation, especially in the current digital age.
She's being so nice in the way that she's saying this. It's funny because like if this was a different video, the person would be like, "Yeah, her music sucks. She just needs to make better music." But the way she's framing it is so much nicer and like polite. It's kind of throwing me off. It actually feels kind of, I don't know if it's just me, but it feels kind of like, man, that's kind of mean. Like you could just say it. You don't have to be super, you know what I mean? Like you just it feels weird. It feels like it cuts deeper, I feel like. Maybe I'm going crazy, but
where everyone's TikTok brain is constantly craving dopamine from new stimulus. The appeal to Ice Spice is about to fade just as quickly as it came. And so let us uncover how in the world did Ice Spice, the new rap princess, liked by women and men, vetted by legends like Taylor Swift, Nicki Minaj, Drake, end up in a huge branding crisis that lost her 39 million listeners, where she fell from the top of Billboard to trashy wordplay. Well, nothing is a coincidence. The domino fall always starts with just one block, and in this case, her music. You see, because of everything else that was worth getting the attention, the publicity, notoriety, the visuals, the TikTok trends, we have yet to actually talk about the music of Ice Spice, which is kind of important given that she is identified as an American rapper per Google. And while her looks, publicity stunts, and TikTok trends can generate attention, what ultimately builds a lasting brand for a musician is the music. Although Ice Spice has dropped different singles and remixed other artists' music, the true test came with her very first album, Y2K. Your album's out! Ice Spice, everyone! Which can be summarized in one line. Think you're the bracket fart, and sold an underwhelming 28,000 copies. Now, I'm not an expert in music, even though...
But Who still buys copies if it's all digital?
Selling over 1 million copies in 1 week might be too high of a goal, as achieved by artists like Taylor Swift, Adele, Gaga, but
Okay, never mind. Well, no. Still, I'm talking about like modern age right now. Do people still buy physical albums?
28,000 copies sold is still relatively low compared to the remaining 23 million monthly listeners that Ice Spice
Yeah.
has. With lukewarm reactions
You would think you would at least get like a good percentage of that, but it's like not even close.
like, quote, Ice Spice has listeners plugging their ears after dropping Yacht, and disappointing fan reactions like, quote, I spent so much time defending Ice Spice last year when hip hop heads came after her. I can't believe she embarrassed me like this with Y2K. I am so upset. Quote, thought I just listened to the Y2K album by Ice Spice. Well, never mind. Instant regret.
I think the issue too, you could probably disagree with me or agree with me, but I think what happened is because she was so marketable when this album actually came out, you had her making appearances on like streamers, being promoted by everyone and everyone, like Kai, just random ass like celebrities. Like it was marketing push for this album was so much, and the people that were promoting it were, I mean, hyping it up and actually saying it was good when actually it was actually dog shit. But it was like, you know what I mean? Like there was just so many people that were trying to fake sell it while everyone was like, no, this is actually bad, that I think it actually made it like 10 times worse. Does that make sense? Like you can't convince everybody that it's good while everyone is saying it's bad. It makes things dramatically worse.
Quote, I thought she was going to sing. Before we analyze the actual music, let us dissect everything else that catapulted the downfall. Quick reminder, how did Ice Spice become famous so quickly in the first place? First, as someone known because of her associations with other people who are famous, credibility borrowed eventually needs to be returned. The songs that hit the charts and made headlines are highly correlated with the brands of Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift that took decades to build. Once the associations with these established brands began to fade, the hype also fades. Actually, not only did the added brand value fade, it also backfired through personal drama. Ice Spice's ex-best friend exposed alleged text from her talking trash of Nicki Minaj. Quote, Barbie asked me to do it alone, but since that's her brand, I invited her on and she doesn't even see that as me bringing her something. She's kind of like my mom, ungrateful and delusional. I cut her off, by the way, not speaking to her till January.
Wait, what? Am I crazy? That's like, why would you do that? Like, that's like basic networking. Like, ignore the celebrity and stuff like that aside. It's like if someone works in the same space as you and they're very notable, like you don't have to like be their best friend, but you also don't have to like ice them out. No pun intended. Like I just, that's crazy. Whoever on her team told her that was a good idea or let her do that, I don't know who to blame. I mean, obviously it's her fault, but that's why you need a team of people that says, hey, what you're doing is stupid. You know, I just think what makes someone great is a good team that's not always saying yes, that will actually disagree with you. But that's crazy. I didn't know she did that.
Which definitely did not sit well with Nicki fans that made up a considerable portion of Ice Spice's listeners thanks to their prior collaboration, and damage her previously unproblematic brand that girls find likable. And because Nicki Minaj has established herself deep in the rap and hip-hop industry for almost 20 years, the cut of association and now even the negative association with Ice Spice in the same genre of music only limits the potential audience size of Ice Spice.
And I'll be honest, you know, I don't know how you guys feel about Nicki, right? I'm just gonna give you my opinion. I like her a little bit more than all these women here, to be honest. Okay. Doja's okay. I like her music sometimes, but the deal is, it feels like women's rap was getting worse. So to associate with somebody who is a little bit more established from older generations like Nicki kind of feels like you would want to associate even more with her and not so much with the other girls that exist. Because right now, women's rap is just so bad. Whereas like it used to be actually really, really, really good. So it's insane to me. Like I wouldn't even want to make my own identity when the rap scene, women's rap scene or women's hip hop scene is just so donkey water. Like it's so dog water. It's so bad.
Genre of music only limits the potential audience size of Ice Spice. On top of which, the perceived entitled attitude of Ice Spice and not being a girl's girl was furthered in 2 additional dramas. First, releasing an underwhelming diss track against Lotto with distasteful toilet lyrics like, quote, think you are the S word, bracket fart, that didn't hit with fans.
Ice Spice dropped a new song.
I just did a fart and a poop at the same time. I call that a poop.
Gross. You know what they said? She has a scat fetish.
And rumored publicity stunt
Oh my
rapper
God.
Central C, who was exposed by Madeline RG to cheat on her with Ice Spice.
Imagine you break up with your boyfriend one night and the next day he is posted up with Ice Spice in Chrome Heart. I didn't even actually get to break up with him and he's already with the next girl.
To what
In fairness, would you do the same? If I was like, you know what, my girl's breaking up with me, I'm breaking up with her, right? And then literally that night, Ice Spice is like, get on the plane. Or I'm on the plane right now, on my way. What are you gonna do? Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
which Ice Spice may have addressed through a TikTok titled, quote, mood after digging Hamens. Which of course promotes her music.
That's
Right, I
crazy.
get it. Mads is not that big of an artist like you. She's not a pop star. She's not Shake Bomb on the net, yeah. And you think you're bad, bro. You lost air.
I hate that. It's I don't know is that Toronto slang? It's just so cringe.
Everyone's respect. Ice Spice. The UK don't like you, B.
Oh, the UK. Even gross.
Although the
Even more gross.
purpose of the amplified drama and publicity stunts were to promote the music,
Think you the you're not even the fuck.
in the end, the only eyeballs they attracted did not bring favorable attention to the music or any attention to the music at all. On top of which, the music itself fell flat. The downfall of Ice Spice all boils down to the confusion of mistaking the packaging as the product.
See, that's the lesson here. Just because the packaging good don't mean the product's good. So it answered my question. If you have bad music, no matter the marketing, no one's gonna buy it.
Product being her music. Just as self-explanatory as all product marketing, whether physical or digital, no matter how shiny, dazzling, beautiful the exterior packaging is, if you wrap a pretty bowl on a piece of crap, which is quite literally what Ice Spice's new album is about, people won't buy the crap just for the packaging, which in this case is all the marketing effort into getting more media attention, including the messy dramas and shade throwing. That in itself is not the best packaging. So if you have a crappy product wrapped around in crappy packaging, it makes no logical sense for people to waste their time or attention on things that have no inherent value. Even though with so much initial potential, Ice Spice's brand has been way overcrowded by drama and short-lived TikTok trends, where she is now known for basically everything other than her music. Her looks, her dramas, her TikToks, her underwhelming.
Is it even possible to become a successful artist without TikTok and trend chasing nowadays? Because I feel like TikTok is kind of like a double-edged sword. You grow really fast, but because everyone's like have brain rot, they need the dopamine really fast, they're gonna forget about you pretty quickly. So I don't know. I wonder. I'm not a musician, so I wouldn't know, but on YouTube, there's a little bit more staying power because it's like on YouTube, if I make something or do something, I can exist in my own bubble and still grow, and it's still not and still be timeless, right? Whereas like I don't know, I just don't understand. I wonder. So musicians, let me know.
Lyrics about poop and butt. Thus, without the boost of credible associations like before, without much innovation from the previous releases, and written more so for the appeal of short-lived TikTok than to be listened to as an actual album, just like a TikTok trend, it is short-lived. Easy come, easy gone. So what are some things that could save Ice Spice from this flop era? First, while her hack to virality through making the right brand associations and reliance on TikTok has been ultra successful, attention does not equal retention.
Ain't that the fact? Just views does not mean watch time. Let me tell you again, on YouTube, just because you get views, don't mean you get watch time. As somebody in my channel, even though I'm small, I get a lot of watch time. Okay. So, and that's how you know you're in the right direction. And that's why like, I know I'm making content that people actually like. It's because you guys watch it. And I'm not trying to, like, if I was focused on getting as many views as I could, it probably wouldn't be content that you guys would like. So it's one of those things where like, you can't have it both ways. You got to make stuff that your audience actually likes or your community actually likes first before you start trying to assuming views means success. It doesn't necessarily mean that. I think watch time first and then views come second.
A sustainable brand cannot be built through a few viral moments. It takes years of value giving to build a reputation, so there won't be a need to rely on other people's reputation. Thus, Ice Spice needs to make a crucial decision of whether she wants to be an influencer, continuing the celebrity dramas and publicity stunts to chase relevancy, to be only known for drama with other famous people known for their talents, or stop chasing but attract fame as the byproduct of making high quality music as a musician instead of an influencer. Speaking of which, second, as much as TikTok is a powerful marketing engine for her music, the TikTokification of her music make her songs almost impossible to listen to on their own. And this is not just the case for Ice Spice. In optimizing for that quick beat and virality, a lot of music releases are now all about repeating a few quick, substanceless lines that could become a trend to momentarily satiate the fast consumption habit created by TikTok, but inevitably will be.
So she does agree. Okay. See, I mean, I'm saying things that I think are true, but I don't know because I'm not the marketing genius. But yeah, so basically, she answered my question that even it like, oh man, it would suck to be a musician nowadays. I thank God I'm not one of those because man, having to deal with the TikTokification of your own music when you're just trying to make your own stuff, would probably be extremely frustrating.
Be forgotten and replaced by the next fast and cheap trend. And in the case of Ice Spice, it's been more apparent than ever that to remain TikTokable, to generate conversation for the sake of attention, her music is lacking soul and identity, with extremely mediocre lyrics about pooping and the same repetitive subjects. Sure, it can be funny and cheeky if you do it once or twice, but as this ex-user said, quote, all she raps about is thongs and feces. It is hard to think about who the songs appeal to as it is neither aspirational nor relatable. And third, although it is important to build conversations around the new album, the actual release was all hype and minimal substance. I'm sure a lot of effort still went into producing the new album, but don't build up an out of proportion expectation if it can't be delivered. Because now, the Ice Spice brand in people's minds is diminished, which is really hard to come back to regardless of how many publicity stunts are done, and does not help clear any previous rumors that Ice Spice is an industry implant.
I knew about this rumor for a while, but I didn't know if it was true because I don't really follow that stuff that much. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Ladies, I don't know. I feel like she's an industry plant. It just seems too convenient that I don't know.
This is why artists like Cardi B hasn't released an album since 2018. A bad release does so much harm to the brand that takes years to recover. So it might not be a bad idea to not prematurely drop another album, but rather take the same amount of time, if not more, to work on a banger single. To prove that the Ice Spice brand is not just a one-hit wonder or a pretty face and body. Let me know your thoughts on if you think the Ice Spice brand is on its way to failure or not.
I honestly think that she just, hey, you know what? You had your run, move on. I don't want to hear any more Ice Spice music. I'll be honest. Never been a fan. But if I were to choose between Ice Spice and Cardi B, I think Cardi B is probably more annoying. Sue me, or don't sue me, but like hate me for that. I don't care. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is this whole thing much worse than we think, or is it not as bad? Either way, love you guys. Check you on the next one. Bye-bye. This video is brought to you actually by viewers like you. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of yours. Let's create new memories this 2025 on our road to 1 million subscribers. And with all that jazz out of the way, I just want to say thank you so much. I love y'all and enjoy the video.